Yes. Nimeshtuka mimi bomu inatokea wapi? Yes, good afternoon everyone. This is Plain San Felix and I welcome you to Kenya News Alert TV, where we say this is the home and art of politics. Here with me, I am with my sisters, ready to welcome you to Asema Nasi show. Yeah, I would like to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves as we proceed. Welcome my sisters. Let us start with that person mwenye anaweza kukumulika mkiwa kwa giza.
Good afternoon people. Welcome so much. This is Semanasi. And thank you so much for joining us kwenye hii show ambayo tunaipenda sana, ambayo tunaienzi sana, tena kinoma. In Tanzania we say, when you like someone you say, nimekumind. Tena nimekumind kinoma. So this is that show where tumewamind kinoma. Sawa? Karibuni sana, kwa majina yetu Zulfa Wanjiru. Karibuni sana. Why nga? Ebu introduce yourself.
Hey. Welcome guys. My name is Tilda. Felix, you know I forgot to tell you yesterday. Now we have been placed in the same shoe. I've been given Juma. I don't know who is Juma.
Mbona anakataa bwana yake anaitwa Juma? Mbona anakataa?
I don't know who is Juma. Now,
Yani Zulfa kazi yake ni ya kuoza watu.
Anatuuza kiu.
Zulfa anataka
Juma even commented. Juma commented, wacheni jokes. Juma commented.
Zulfa ni nani? Zulfa ni nani?
Tutajua. Utajua ni nani? Sawa.
Alafu unaona anajiwekea jina Wanjiru.
So guys, right away we were expecting the country to avoid a lot of tension, to avoid whatever that may bring any kind of tension right now, yes? But let me tell you the truth. Vile tunaongea saa hivi, Natembeya ni vigumu kwake.
It is a hard situation.
It is very, very, very hard for him right now, whereby as we speak right now, the guy was arraigned in court almost 2 to 3 hours back. What is really now going to happen? How many corrupt leaders have we been having since the Kenya got independence? How many people have we seen maybe returning the property back? Haven't you seen people suffering somewhere? Haven't you seen people maybe struggling because some of the individuals could grab their properties? Do you really think this is fair? And if not, how are we going maybe to get this problem done with? Let me tell you, at some point I do say that Kenya is one of the most conducive environment for people to live in. And I have never seen any issue that maybe could not qualify Kenya to be the best country where people maybe will live in peace. I don't want maybe at some point people to misinterpret this beautiful and patronizing country. You know, at some point, every person anakuanga na ile opportunity ya kuishi na maisha ya raha. If really these people are maybe saying the truth and at some point are not biased and they are trying to give us the correct information, then I'm trying to also support them, let that governor to face the law. But truly, kwa sahi, hicho chenye wanasema kwamba amekuwa responsible kwa corruption. My friends, what do you really think will convince us that it is the truth? Hata watu walikuwa kwanza, watu wake wenye anaongoza huko wamesema nini? Wamekubaliana na hayo? Say something, my sisters.
Amereleasiwa kwanza.
Bado inaendelea. We shall go there after some time.
Yeah, we shall go there. We shall go.
Okay, so imagine kama mwana anakaa unadhani even the Waititus Waititu wenye tunajua, like we know these people were here because of corruption.
Mimi nanga kwa TV.
Waititu.
Nani anaonanga kwa timu?
Mimi ninaitwa Zulfa. Mimi ni yule mwenye mnaonanga kwa TV. That is the kind of language that guy could use. Let me ask you, now that we are talking about corruption case, people from people from that place where this guy has been leading, are they complaining about the same? If not, or yes, if yes or not, if they are not complaining, all those funds that were allocated in that county to work on something, to work on some tasks, is everything okay?
Let me tell you something.
Tell me.
Is people have not complained, because jana kumekuwa vibaya sana. Hata umesikia yule Tony asubuhi alisema Trans Nzoia sasa haukaliki because they took their governor. Sawa, kulikuwa na mawe kwa barabara. It was just a nasty place to be. So that means his people support him. His people are okay. Tuache kuongelea mambo hapa juu. Let us really sink deep into this. Sawa, let us really enter this. Enter balls deep and say that Natembeya anafuatiliwa kama vile Salasi amefuatiliwa, kama vile Gachagua anafuatiliwa. It's like anyone who stands against ama anyone who tries to be like hapana president hapa na hapa ama serikali hapa na hapa, you become an enemy of the state. Continue.
So like right now we say that no one has a freedom of speech, no one has a freedom to walk around, because when you are doing let's say when these people are doing their rallies or they have meetings somewhere, they'll do their meetings with fear, because ujui nani anakukujia, nani anakuchunguza, nani anakutafuta. You don't know these people. Okay, how will we make Kenya to be back venye ilikuwa, ni at least there is peace, kuna ile freedom of speech, kuna ile freedom of, yani unatembea mko tu nani, mko free in everything. Sawa, when somebody has done something, you have to tell that person the truth. Let the reality walk, let the reality move in the country. Mbona mna deny ukweli? Mbona amtaki? Sasa okay, Natembeya walikuwa wamesema wanataka kumpea kura kwa president. Haya, hiyo tu kujitokeza kidogo hivyo. Huyo ameletewa sijui ni
anti-corruption.
Haya, Salasi ndio huyo ameletewa sijui aliambia Wajaluo wa watairi iishe. Haya, another one just Gachagua is that one now. And you will just hear there is another one again coming up. Yani we want to now go with issues of the MPs, governors and whoever who are there right now. You don't want people to come and say that we are done with this. We don't want anything about the government that is there right now. We want to move with something that is clean, something that will take us to a higher point, somebody or some leaders that will come and make the country at least have good leadership, have good developments, have peace. Yani tunataka vitu zingine, yani yenye ukikaa hivyo ana una enjoy tu country yako. But sahi, I can imagine watu wako na uoga. And mtu sahi, by the way, I don't know if there is somebody who will speak.
Gachagua is out there speaking.
Wanataka the problem with the government. The government wants to zip everybody.
Anyone who tries to say no. And like, you know, kuna hii kitu inatagwa criticism, si ndio? Like ukosa kupata criticism, how will you ever know? Positive criticism. Positive criticism. Lazima ni kwa hivyo. It's like Ruto doesn't want to hear anything inasema Ruto hajafanya hivi. Anataka mseme Shai inafanya kama haifanyi. Baadaye Shai inafanya. Bado hatujasikia.
Wale watu wa KBB, Shai inafanya. Your shares, are they working? Shashi, what is it? I don't know.
Chief and Sha.
Chief and Sha. I don't know what inamaanishanga nini bali sijui. Because
you see, my sisters, corruption has been the main threat in many African countries. We have seen many countries going down. We have seen many countries going down. I'm telling you the truth.
Kenya wameona waekee tu Natembeya.
Natembeya.
Yetu ndio wameona in all the people. Natembeya, surely.
What if maybe you come to realize maybe
si hata tunamdefend lakini who is Natembeya. Sasa president Natembeya sasa hivi tunafaa tukue tunatafutana na nani wa corruption, who is above that?
What if you come to realize that that guy is guilty?
Even if he's guilty, president too is guilty.
He might make him guilty. I mean, we saw Waititu tuongelee mtu kama Waititu. Tunaga venye Waititu 580 something million. Na akaitishwa 50 kitu na akapelekwa jela. Alafu the last time I heard anything about Waititu is when I saw that video of I'm gonna mkono wa nani?
Wametoa 50 what?
50 million out of 500 and
hata si a quarter of million.
Wewe bro, mngechukua nyumba yake muifanye aquarium. Wala samaki zishingi huko. Mse, these people joke a lot. Some Natembeya out of sasa wacha. Because do you know I used to see Waititu and the wife laughing wakiwa hapo talking very free, and the wife even didn't go to prison. Ama mlisikia kwa committee girls? Mlimsikia Langata girls? Amkumsikia?
Wangempeleka tu pamoja na Haz.
Walai.
Utachaze Haz.
Yeah.
Tilda. I think this is the main reason why we have the need. We really need to have the need of fighting corruption. Many African countries, they have totally failed because of corruption and the dishonesty. That's why unapata like a country like Kenya, it is in a hanging stage. Stage or state? Let me just say state. Kenya iko in a hanging state whereby inaweza anguka, unanielewa? Ama ishoot. Mnaweza kubaliana na mimi?
Kabisa.
Inaweza anguka ama ishoot. Inaweza shoot aje? Truly, I can assure you that Kenya has got, okay, the citizens themselves, they have got that need of working hard. Now there are some of the products zenye zimekuwa zikimportiwa siku hizi zinatengenezewa hapa Kenya. But the kind of taxation and the kind of exposure these people maybe they are exposed to, yani you are exposed to harsh conditions zenye hata wewe mwenyewe unaona aje yenyewe hizi anasiwezi. Kwa nini? Mnaongezewa tax kwa sababu funds zimekosa za kufanya kazi fulani, baadaye hizo pesa zenye mmepeana kama tax zinapotea kwa mifuko ya watu, tena mnakuja kuongezewa tax zingine. Mtaendelea kuishi hivyo kweli? Some of the investors, some of the companies, some of good maybe some of good investors wamefanya nini? Wameamua kuenda kwingine. That's why niliona jirani wetu hata kama anakuanga mkubwa lakini mdogo wetu ameanza kuleta kakiburi fulani. We are supposed to avoid these things if possible. Unanielewa? Natembeya kuingishwa kwa hii shida ya kunini, hii shida ya corruption. Wacha asafishe jina yake. Kupeleka kotini si mbaya because that is what is lawful. Angepigwa risasi, si tungesema mbona koti ni za nini? Sasa tusikasirike eti mbona Natembeya anapelekwa kotini. Wacha Natembeya afikishwe kotini. Baadaye kama kuna any information yenye inaweza fanya abaki hapo ama atoke hapo na hiyo kesi ishe, si ni vizuri?
Mbona wangeifanya manafuli?
Aje?
Na respect.
But then mbona walifanya vile walifanya?
Aje?
Mbona kavunjwa? Oh yes. Yes, and we're going there. Let me say hi to Coach. Coach, hi guys. Hi.
Hi Coach.
So as my Kenya's.
Hi Coach. He is the first person to comment. Please, can you greet the person with hi? Respect and honor.
You lied
hi,
though.
Coach.
You lied. Alisemaje? Coach amemtext. Alisema hivyo?
Coach Brian.
You said that amekutext.
Kwa hiyo Brian text.
But you said that.
But he stopped planting false information.
You
were saying somebody.
Kenya's unity today is unspoken but powerful, driven by shared frustration, not politics. Any interference draws scrutiny, and all eyes are now subtly fixed on Samia Suluhu. Why are they fixed on Samia Suluhu?
Yes?
Amesema hivi, Kenyans' unity today is unspoken but powerful, driven by shared frustration. We all know that because kila mtu anakasikia.
Driven by
shared frustrations.
Yes.
Not politics. Any interference draws scrutiny, and all eyes are now. Oh, because of issue of mother. Ama? Ndio tunamwangalia sasa. Tulikasirika jana tulisema kwamba huyu mama anajisije kumfukuza mama yetu.
I'm telling you the truth. Kwanza kuna kitu yenye nilikuwa nataka nifanye. How do I wish you guys, for those who are with us live right now, if possible you share this clip of mine. Imfikie. Kitu ya kwanza mimi sipendi mtu mwenye akona kiburi. Kitu ya pili sipendi mtu mwenye akona dharau. Na kitu ya mwisho napenda ninachukia. Si ninapenda nachukia mtu mwenye akona majivuno.
Can I send this to people from there?
Yeah.
Let me send it to them.
Send them. Tell them to share. Tell them imfikie. Unajua, let me tell you, I doubt kama yule mama akona kisomo cha kama cha Madakarua. I doubt this guy.
Hana.
I doubt.
Hana.
Another thing, I don't believe that if they can be maybe at the same table, they can negotiate upstairs. Huyo madhe akitoa vyeti vya kisomo zenye ziko genuine, zenye ziko confirmed with known universities, not ghost universities, ndiye akuje kuanza kusema vitu zenye hakuna. So this is what maybe I want to tell my people, my Kenyans. Let us try to fight corruptions to our level best. Tusikasirike mbona Natembeya amefikishwa huko, lakini wacha tukasirika akikuwa mistreated.
Mimi nakasirika juu ya hiyo anyway.
Unaona, wasijaribu kumistreat Natembeya if truly that guy is innocent. Na kama if there is any information, they have tangible information. We don't want to talk about imagination or other things. If there is any tangible information yenye ina qualify Natembeya kudeserve jela, who am I kumtetea? Who am I maybe to start kutetea Natembeya?
See,
I want, but let me tell you this, if that guy is innocently there, ama maybe aliwahi tumia 50 bob yenye inaweza rudisha, wacha arudishe na wampige kale ka penalty.
But I think people from Tanzania love Natembeya.
Yes.
Wale Natembeya
si ati tunamtetea.
Atumtetei
Kwa sababu hatujui kama ni ukweli
ama ni uongo.
But the reason why we are talking this way is why did they went to him like that? Why did they yani wamemwacha anakaa venye anakaa? Why didn't they respect him like a mheshimiwa, wamwambie tumekukujia because
samahani mheshimiwa. Asa you're needed in SEC offices, not coming like they are coming for like a thug. The same way they went for Selassie. You see, but this is the thing with this government and this regime, walimchukua kama mwizi, shoot hiyo mguu asiende taush. Sawa? Profanity is just coming. So even though Stanley anasema, ama tuungane sisi wote tuende tutoe Natembeya kotini tumpeleke afanyie watoke kazi. And let me tell you, you might say this like a joke, but I think Transoia people watachukua nini wao. Sababu alikuwa ameshaanza kuziba manjia. And you know, as we said, you don't want anything like that. But I remember jana Rigathi Gachagua alisema ya kwamba tuende in case mumshike tunaenda tunafunga barabara zote. And I don't know, but they stop with that. Do we know anything that is coming from Tanzania right now? Let me see the state of Tanzania right now, please, someone.
Unasema aje?
Naangalia state ya Tanzania sahi.
The state of Tanzania. People from Tanzania should communicate and tell us what is really going on.
Actually, a moment.
Yes,
Sawa.
yes.
This is X. This is Twitter. Twitter Suluhu ana trend vibaya sana. Let me tell you, hapa kuna Idi Amin dada na Idi Amin mama. She's trending. So thank you Stan. So yeah. Ish, and this is police force TZ. Ama this is ours we have created.
Okay, you can read. You can read.
I can read. So this police force TZ inasema hivi: kwa masikitiko makubwa tunathibitisha kifo cha Rais wa Jamhuri wa Muungano wa Tanzania. Tunawaomba wananchi wote wawe watulivu na kudumisha umoja katika kipindi hiki kigumu. Mungu ailaze roho yake mahali pema. #Tanzania, #Rais ametutoka. So this is Kenya. This is Kenya doing this, yeah? It is a whole thing. It is a whole stuff.
Alifikiria hata ifremiwa. Ametengenezwa hapo.
Titan Paul, X account hacked barely. It was hacked, people. Thank you so much, Stan. Ebuskia, Tanzania Force Tan Paul, X account hacked barely hours after deportation of Kenyan activists and the arrest of a firebrand, Boniface Mwangi, all who traveled to Dar es Salaam to stand in solidarity with opposition leader Tundu Lissu, who is charged with treason. You know, treason is death. Once you're charged with treason, you're dead. Hapo hata state ayongeagi anything. The hackers posted a message announcing the death of Tanzanian President Honorable Samia Suluhu, who had hours earlier warned the activists and Kenyans that she will not allow them into the country to destabilize it. The activists maintain they will continue agitation for democracy and human rights, not just in Kenya, but across East Africa community. Yeah. Also Kenyans. No, naenda bado Uganda kwenda kuvote. Sawa? I just love the way Kenyans we do the things we do. Sawa?
Sasa hapo tumeanza kuwork na emotions na mimi siozi.
Si emotion.
Well, let us go with the
emotion. Felix.
Salimiwa acha salimiwe.
My sister, let us be serious at once.
Yeah.
Let us be serious at once. Tuweke emotions kando.
Sio emotions. Hiyo ni nini umesikia walisema imelitoka wapi? Sini TZ kwenyewe. Sasa we are doing action on it. Next mnaona
plus Tundu Lissu as we continue with Natembeya. Let me tell you the same thing that is happening in Kenya is happening in Tanzania. And in Tanzania kama Tanzania like hata afadhali yenu yenye Gachagua hajaambiwa ni treason anafanya. Ya Tanzania sasa kama Tundu Lissu Chadema, the Chadema chairperson imebaki sasa because he is the opposition and he has been fighting the government and the corrupt system of the government. Sasa ni treason. The moment, let me tell you, the moment inabaki your treason. Wewe akunaga unless you're proven otherwise. And how are you going to be proven otherwise when the state is the one who is prosecuting you? So basically that is done for. And that is why Martha Karua was traveling to Tanzania. That is why Mwangi was there and other activists there. Sawa? Na sidhani Amnesty inafanya Kenya peke yake. Ama Amnesty inafanya the entire world. Ama inafanya wapi? People. Amnesty inafanya wapi? Kenya peke yake ama everywhere? Let me see. Yeah. It is bad. Whatever is happening in Tanzania is the same thing. Pale naona kuna Victor Kaleka amefika. Mambo Victor. Ngoja wewe. Sawa? Ati
ila siku baya. Huyu Koech kuna vile namfikiria vizuri. Ni Koech ama ni Koech mwenye ninajua?
Ni Koech mwenye unajua. Ama Koech mwenye. So mtu haezi kuja kwa nyumba yangu haribu amani ya familia yangu. I defend my family ethics and dignity fully. I support Rais Suluhu fully. We are still assessing you. So, Stanley Adembo says, Odhiambo says, things are boiling nicely in this country. And then Koech Brian says, Tanzanian Police Force X account hacked.
Anyway.
Amekwambia, tusomee tu.
Niyo comment nimeona hapo hivyo. Anyway, no problem.
So it's but mimi sijui kama producer utatengeneza tuweze kujua venye tujue mambo ya nini huko ya Natembeya. But let me tell you, if you see Natembeya, you know this person is just like any, this is how mmekaa mkaona mtatumaliza.
Let us take a moment and go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
An inventory. Yes, Your Honor, which will demonstrate to you that indeed as at 6:30 a.m. yesterday, the accused person had lost his 2 phones. And of course he was in custody. So he could not speak to third parties. So, Your Honor, there are vermin in the affidavit by Mr. Robert Rono is certainly not accurate. Number two, Your Honor, the place where they went to conduct searches. Your Honor, I want to refer you to the affidavit of Mr. Rono at paragraph 3, where Mr. Rono said that among other places, they went to accuse persons Kitale Milimani residents. That is repeated at paragraph 4 and paragraph 5 and paragraph 6 of the affidavit. Now, Your Honor, juxtapose that to the order. The order that they received to search the accused's premises had the following residences. One is Rongai residence in Nairobi. Two is a residence in a place called Kipomet.
Come again.
First is
No,
a,
the second.
second is a place called Kipomet. Kipomet. Third is Nairobi residence in Kileleshwa. Okay. So that, Your Honor, when you turn to the affidavit, and of course they are using paragraph 6 particularly to seek to deny the accused person bail, they are saying that the motor vehicles that are said to have been vandalized were vandalized when they were searching his Italian residence. Your Honor, looking at the order, which Your Honor you can have a look at, the Italian residence is not captured. It's not there. And therefore, Your Honor, we are appealing to that the evidence that have been annexed to the affidavit is illegally obtained. And we are not very sure that the pictures that are said to be connected to the accused persons are genuine. And Your Honor, to cut that, I would want to refer you to the Evidence Act, Section 106, capital B.
I refer you to SOPEC.
I-
You read it, reason.
I yield.
Honest to records.
Thank you.
No, I'll try 3 minutes at max, and you stop with the time.
Be sure it is 3 minutes.
Stop there.
Yeah.
The first point, Your Honor, is just to raise a point.
Now, I expect you start with what you wanted to raise.
Yes, that's what I'm addressing. Your Honor, Section 106, Appendix B of the Evidence Act is very clear in the manner in which electronic evidence is used. There is no certificate of electronic evidence annexing those pictorials. By dint of that section alone, there is no evidence in support of the bare allegations in the affidavit. There is no basis to even advance now any compelling reason.
Slow. Let me remind you. The applications contained in the
And in the absence of the electronic certificate, the annexures are inadmissible, and the court should expand them. In their absence, there is no evidence brought to court to support the opposition to bail. Finally, Your Honor, you are told that this court cannot interpret the Constitution. Section 3 of the Judicature Act lists the sources of law in Kenya that this court is called upon to apply. This court can apply the Constitution, including the Bill of Rights. When we say the court to apply Article 49, to apply Article 50, we are asking the court to apply it in the ordinary course of the court's duty. We are not asking for interpretation. Last point. Everything remaining constant, the right to bail is constitutional. And the purpose of giving terms is to compel attendance. The subject of the proceedings is now a warden of the court, not a warden of the state. Bail and bond for pre-hearing detention should never be used as a basis to punish an accused person who is still presumed to be innocent. And I urge Your Honor to so consider this accused person as its warden, that will attend to court as and when this court requires it. Thank you.
Mr. Jerry, your last soldier. Is it your last or
Listen and then Dr. Amino.
Dr. Amino?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll take only 2 minutes.
Professor, you said you were taking 2 minutes.
2.5 minutes. Your Honor, I'm very to appear before you to demonstrate that what I did recently in my second PhD in criminal justice should be put in the maiden opening, and you are the first that I'm hearing before, so I'm very privileged. Secondly, I'd like also to thank my former teacher, Smil. I think he taught me very well, and that's why I've been proceeding on. Now, the point that I want to make is just one or two. I would like this court to look at the whole history of the government and intergovernment officers calling themselves ESCC and their mandate. I would like to apply what we call strict scrutiny. Strict scrutiny test. Law, whereby the government raises its own legitimate expectation to validate it is incompetency. Incompetency is aligned to rights protected by the Constitution.
Come again?
Incompetency is aligned to rights which are fundamental and protected by the Constitution. If that was the case, then that law must be narrowly, and I mean narrowly tailored to serve a compelling interest. What is a compelling interest? I'll not go into that issue because my senior counsels before me have already spoken about that. How do we look into the classification of what the state has alleged? Classification. Classification, looking at the time of the search, the time of arrest, the time taken to drive, the accused, the miles involved in that journey, the manner in which the accused was transported, where the accused slept, presumably in this case a cold floor, and how the accused is arraigned in court. Lastly, Your Honor, I may not understand, and please let the court make me understand, whether the arresting officer is the investigating officer and the judge, and is an evidence provider, provision of evidence through affidavit, which even if mandated by statute, and even if that statute contradicts the Constitution, in which case I believe it does, following the circumstances in court, then there's high potency of illiteracy in the judicial, in the government executive system. I rest my case. Thank you.
Professor, are you sure you want that to go to record?
I think it should, because I can substitute it. Your Honor, what I mean by literacy is not literally academic, schooling, but experience. And if we were to do what we call discoveries in law, the kind of affidavit you have seen here raises issues that can only be raised on discovery.
You're magnetic yourself.
Thank you.
Daktari, how long? I'm not even sure whether I will fix time for you.
I'll be extremely brief,
Very well.
except I'm asking for one indulgence.
Yes.
I have my own friend in Ethiopia. I always appear with him in the cases. He has only one word he wants to tell you. Only one word.
Very well.
One word will try to do it in 1 minute or less.
Very well. Continue.
First, please look at the charge sheet. Point 1, the persons named there are 2. The particulars refer to 1. It is impossible to tell which one will be, except for the use of the word government. So we don't know whether the fuller is for government or the volume is for government. The second point related to that is particulars in the charge sheet under the law. And I make the presumption that the court knows how to do that, right, and understand. Those particulars, which are suggesting that he has committed an offense of corruption, of conflict of interest. The particulars of conflict of interest are not been indicated. So without the indication that what you call the seriousness of compelling evidence is not there. If you look, sorry, we have that code, that was speaking this. If you look at count 2, the same problem of lack of particulars. So that there is no evidence that demonstrates the nexus between Mr. Natembeya and the brother. And the third count relates to the manual we're going to talk about. Last, and this is about the allegation of planning crimes of the government. Something I was told when I was being taught to the young parents when I was much younger. We were told monkey see, monkey do. When the government itself lets court orders, citizens have no reason to monkey see, monkey do. When the government violates court orders, it is impossible for citizens to trust it. So nobody will trust that they are doing anything helpful. So the citizens are taking enough of the government. very last, I do recall off the top of my head, the governor of, was it Sabun, who was charged with the blood of support. The court ordered that he should not go to the county government. So this issue of interference with subordinates, if there are any, but my colleague, I just every that's not still. The court has authority and discretion to give conditions that will ensure that the proceedings of this court are held to be paid.
Thank you very much. Your Honor, I was very, the first point I would like to make to you, respectfully, Your Honor, is that several counsels or advocates have spoken. They have made submissions. I would respectfully urge that before you write a ruling, identical ruling, it is very necessary to guide this nation. You release the governor and you tell the audience that a written ruling will be delivered. Your Honor, this has always been done by the Court of Appeal, by the High Court. This has always been done by the Court of Appeal.
This one?
Giving reason to better
Yes.
has always been done by the Court of Appeal, the High Court, and recently even by the Supreme Court. So I urge you very respectfully that before you rise this morning, you make an order that the governor is released forcefully and you deliver the ruling then. I also urge you very, very respectfully, Your Honor, that we will not free fall. The governor will go nowhere. We all know that. He lives in this country. He has rendered sterling services to the nation. And there's no way he can leave Kenya for another country. He will not free fall. And you will also be educating certain people and certain countries that the criminal law of the country must not be abused at all.
Slower, Dr. Slower.
Your Honor, I'm saying to you respectfully that you make an order before you rise.
Sorry, that I scored. And it's okay.
That the governor is released on a free bond and you will give your reason to my place. Your Honor, permit me to continue.
Continue.
Your Honor, I'm a child born in the colonial days.
You're a child of
Born in the colonial days.
this.
I'm a child who received education in colonial institutions. I'm a child who read colonial literature of sociology, anthropology, philosophy, when we had terms like the African mind, how the African thinks, and so on, from the colonial. There's one thing I can make you very clear. The criminal law of Kenya has always been abused. It has always been abused by those in power. It was abused during the colonial days. It was abused during Mzee Kenyatta's day. It was abused considerably during Mzee Moi's day. The only president that can put in a word in his favor is Mwai Kibaki. The criminal law was not abused during Kibaki's reign.
I think the statement is home, Dr. The statement is home.
Oh, thank you very much, Your Honor. Now, Your Honor, permit me to go a little bit further. If is now being abused by the executive, by agents of the state. They have now taken over the criminal law of the country. They are abusing it. The rule of law which we thought was improving is now in ICU. And Your Honor, I'm urging you very respectfully that you can only get out of this quagmire with boldness from the petition. Our judges have to be bold. Our magistrates have to be bold and state very clearly that the country will not be governed the way it is being governed at the moment. Your Honor, we live in this country. Every day I'm reading the Sun, I'm reading the Nation, I'm reading the Star, and I go even further to read any other newspapers outside this country. Clearly, Your Honor, what is emerging at the moment, that unless we arrest the situation, nobody will have politics in the country. The country could easily be classified as a banana republic. I filed a case recently, Your Honor, in court, the usual process, that we should refer certain matters now to the ICC.
Your Honor.
That we should refer certain matters of disappearances to the ICC. Let the International Criminal Court come in and see what it can do. Then we can come.
If we can deal with Mr. Natembeya first.
Yes. Your Honor, what is the judge? Can someone give me the judge? Your Honor, the judge you are given here, one can even pass in class. The first comes. The governor is supposed to have corruptly received the sum of shillings 1,127,900,000 shillings. You're not being told that they took away billions of shillings. 1,127,900,000 shillings. Anybody with a critical mind like of John Camino can see that this is dishonest. It's nonsense. That you're bringing a governor of the state to the country because of that amount of money. That's on the first page. On the second page, 2,124,668. Hey, what is that? A full governor. 2,124,668. Sadly, Your Honor, the amount involved is 2,680,461. This is of Emmanuel of Musumo. Your Honor, the criminal law is being abused. During the days of, we were making one point clear. A constitution is meaningful, it must develop something called contention. A constitution is meaningful, it must develop in some cases something called convention. You would expect that a charge against a governor of the country, the director of public prosecution, would read the entire file to satisfy himself that indeed a case has been made out before placing such a case before a criminal court. Your Honor, when did the DPPs read the file to satisfy himself that a case has been made out against Mr. Natembeya? Having regard to what was being told, was arrested with yesterday morning. When did the DPP read the entire file? At least if I may say in favor of Charles and Johnson, he would read the entire file to satisfy himself that indeed a case has been made out against the government. A governor is no small man. A governor is not a messenger. A governance of person who's ruling and governing millions of people. It is therefore not surprising that the people in his own area were mad to hear that their governance is being brought into the country, taken by the police. It's quite clear the fight of slave at home. Jonah, may I say, draw your attention to the fact that I shall, if I'm given the opportunity, I shall be conversing in some other quarters that the courts have no jurisdiction to entertain the count that they have to that people. There's no jurisdiction at all. And I would refer you to Article 181 and Article 182 in the Constitution. If you read Articles 181 and 182, Your Honor, there is no provision that provides that a charge can be prepared against a governor. The way to deal with a governor is to use the impeachment proceedings that have been provided for in the Constitution. A governor cannot be arrested and charged the way things have been done. The director of prosecution himself, Your Honor, the DPP has no jurisdiction to make or to prepare charges against the government. So there is lack of jurisdiction. I'm making this point to strengthen my submission, Your Honor, that there is no case against the government. Your Honor, one final question, one final submission in the next year. Please don't misunderstand me at all. I've often thought that in a country like Kenya, strictly speaking, you do not have to be right. You do not have to be right in the law at all. What is required of a lawyer, what is required of a magistrate or a judicial officer is to be strong and to be courageous. The might in your face that rise to the occasion and show those who are in power, who are in executive, that your powers can be challenged, that your powers can be reduced by the court. And it is the courts that are in control of the country and nobody else at all. If we lose the control of the courts of the country, if we lose the power that the courts have, Kenya can easily and very shortly be classified as a banana republic. No wonder that the president of Tanzania says the word that he says about our country. The country has gone up. And you need young people like yourself, who have got power, to see what we can bring out and maintain the concept of rule of law in the country, the independence of judicial, and to make sure that if I may use the word and may borrow the word of our president, that let the executive keep its own day, not to get into other days. And currently, it is not doing so. Thank you, Your Honor. I think, Your Honor. Yeah. Your program may say that when the matter I handled in some other quarters and so on.
Mahatma.
Yes, there is a book here I was referring to impeachment in the Nigerian presidential system. That's where we have a lot of impeachments of governors and so on. And I will be borrowing words from this book. I'm just putting my learned friends from the prosecution notice that they order for this book.
What is the title?
Order.
You know, I'm taking the title. It's impeachment in the Nigerian president. I assure the very learned senior that you have come.
Yeah. I don't know if on your impeachment of governors, your honor, and in Nigeria, you will see when members of the executive swearing that they would rather die than have such a government in power. Yes, some people, I'm sure, are swearing that they would rather die than see Governor Natembeya in power.
Very well. Mr. Njelu, I think we are done.
Yes, we are done, so it's
Yes.
Our father, the father, the profession, he has said it all. The governor, freehold, at the very worst, some affordable cash flow. Let him not stay here an hour longer, so that we don't play in the hands of his tormentors. Let there be no conditions. This man has been elected by his people. He has committed no wrong until the case is proven, if at all. There was not even any affection in that effect. So let's not talk about conditions. In fact, that date, one of these expanders, let him get his freehold or cash bill, let him leave. Even a street boy here will know who is judging up in there. There's nowhere where he will go. We believe. Your Honor, you do the right thing. We have no doubt at all. I, for one, have no doubt. I know you are a good judicial officer. You believe in the rule of law. You understand the law. And even as we are doing all these things, you've appreciated it. I have no doubt that today the judgment will be looked at. No conditions have been sought and should even be there. Let man go and serve. He'll have his day in court.
Thank you.
Sorry, Your Honor, do we have a right to respond? Of course, there are any evidence. Mr. Owiti, yes, together with you on
I'll just go along. Most
I have
kindly.
not specified.
Yes. Your Honor, start with the jurisdictional issue that has been raised by counsel, especially the very learned Dr. Amino, as to whether or not this court properly has jurisdiction to entertain these charges. And whether or not the Director of Public Prosecutions had power to institute these charges. Yes. And that is related to reference to Articles 181 and 182 of the Constitution relating to vacancy in the office of a county governor in Kenya. I believe, I haven't made reference, but I believe that's the position. In brief responses, this court's jurisdiction to entertain anti-corruption matters is provided for under Section 4 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act. So that's a simple answer. Section 4 of the ASEC. So this court has jurisdiction. The Director of Public Prosecutions is vested with power to institute criminal proceedings against anyone before any court other than a court martial, Article 157, 6A of the Constitution. Allow me to make two corrections. My very good friend, Mr. Degwa, tells the court that there is no nexus between the affidavit and the charges. And if your record confirms what I also heard, that there's no such charge as conflict of interest, which is count number 1. I don't know whether council read the charge sheet. Count number 1 is conflict of interest. And not just that, count number 2. How could he have gotten that wrong? Conflict of interest. And it does not only mislead you on that. He says that the prosecution, on behalf of the prosecution, no law has been pleaded, no evidence has been produced, no case law has been referred to. I refer to Tom Chomley, it's case law in Kenya. I quoted Article 49(1)H. I quoted Section 123A. These are laws in Kenya. The second correction, Your Honor, my learned senior, Mr. Masharia, if I don't get that wrong, tells the court that the areas, the subject of the warrants issued on 18th of June were limited to 3, Kibomet and another one. It's on the record, Your Honor. Oh, Mr. Sibiu, I apologize. That's why I was not sure who's it. Your Honor, although they have not given you a copy of that warrant, it says, and any other warrant. Let me just read that so that I get it correct, so that I don't mislead the court. The warrants have been referred to just below the areas listed. There is an any other office, business, and residential premises wherever they may be situated within the Republic, unless we are reading different ones. So that even the search in Trans Nzoia was by law, was sanctioned by law. But then there's the related question as to whether the warrants issued could also be the basis of an arrest. That is the question asked by my learned friend and teacher, Mr. Echesa. Your Honor, this is a cognizable offense. Mr. Smith taught me this way back in 2011. For cognizable offenses, you don't need a warrant. So the arrest was proper by law. So the arrest was proper. The searches were proper. The defense has attempted to repudiate the charge sheet. Although they have gone around the corners, they're not coming strongly about it. But they seem to be questioning the propriety of the charge sheet, or rather the charges. There was no attempt to invite this court under Section 89(5) of the Criminal Procedure Code to reject the charges. Plea was taken. As it is, the charges are proper, including the particulars. And in compliance against with Section 214 of the CPC. But there's a smaller issue about the amounts. This is related to the charge sheet as well. That a whole governor should not have been brought before you for amounts about 1 million or 2 million. I agree with Mr. Otieno that this court may not interpret but can apply. In the application of the constitutional provisions, Article 27, Sub-Article 4 obligates this court to ensure and promote an equal application of the law to everyone. Equal application of the law. Article 27, Sub-Article 4 of the Constitution. Before this court, Your Honor, I've never had the privilege of appearing before you. And I'm sure my colleagues who have here have brought people with cases of soliciting a bribe. Some of them up to 3,000 or 5,000. are Kenyans as well. So that the amount, the basis of the charge cannot be the basis to question whether or not the charges are proper or whether or not compelling reasons exist. Your Honor, I can confirm to this court that's a factual issue, and I can confirm to the court that the DPP, in fact, ascertained and satisfied himself that there were charges properly on the basis of which he could institute these proceedings before you. Your Honor, in respect of Article 181 and 182 of the Constitution, we are not attempting to impeach the governor. The DPP has no such powers, legally or factually. But Your Honor, more importantly, whether or not denial of bail would amount to removal of a governor has been answered by the Supreme Court of the land in the case of Ferdinand Waititu versus Republic.
Your Honor, is raising new facts that were not part of our address to the court.
That's a question of law, Senior.
It never came up, Your Honor. We perhaps need a very clear ruling on that particular objection, because that never arose in our submissions.
Dr. Aminu raised Article 181 and 182 and said that removal can only be by other parties, not the DPP or this court. That's what I'm answering. And again, because Mr. Ndegwa did not even know that conflict of interest was count one, he may have missed this as well. I withdraw.
If you have withdrawn, I wanted to clarify that I scored with Dr. Aminet saying something else.
Yes. It's going to mislead. Unfortunately, it's going to mislead the court.
Now that he has withdrawn, there is no need to clarify that point.
So, Your Honor, I further
I scored him differently.
Yes.
So now that you withdraw that point, I will not.
Most of like I've also withdrawn the arguments on 181 to I scored it differently. So I've withdrawn. Your Honor, back to the question of bond as I conclude. Page 19 of the Judiciary Bail and Bond Guidelines, at the very bottom in the footnotes, refers to a case of, Republic versus John Kahindi and two others, reported in the Kenya Law Report in 2010. Republic versus John Kahindi and two others, 2010 EKLR. It is at the footnotes of page 19 of the Judiciary Bail and Bond Guidelines. The import of that case, Your Honor, is that the prosecution does not need to avail an affidavit in opposition of bail. Anyone can confirm because the guidelines are available online.
The prosecution
does not need to avail an affidavit in support of an application for denial of bail. While other courts insist on it, not all courts insist on it. That's the import of that decision. It's cited at page 19 in the footnotes. The importance of that argument that you make is that even without an affidavit, compelling reasons can exist. And so that the argument by Mr. Otieno that if certain documents were removed or expanded, then there's no basis. If we can come without an affidavit, there's still basis. There's also the argument as regards saying that we have not proved, so Your Honor.
you are now on your 12th minute.
2 minutes and I'm done, Your Honor. I underestimated my abilities. I'm sorry.
You can't admit that. No, your pace, not abilities. I'm not doubting your abilities. You underestimated your pace.
Yes, yes.
Minute.
I was referring to, please, Your Honor, just help me with your rec. What did I say last? Kindly.
Last, you were attacking the challenge by Mr. Otieno.
All right, yes, thank you very much. So Mr. Otieno was of the effect that if there is no certificate under 106,
that was concluded.
then I can move to the next point. You know, the other issue as regards bail, as I conclude, is that there is an admission from the defense, at least evidenced by Mr. Echesa and Dr. Haminwa. In Mr. Echesa's words, the first accused is a governor of a county. He is a deputy party leader, and he is not a lonely man. Verbatim, if I got it right. In the words of Dr. Haminwa,
I don't know whether Your Honor misquoted in my presence, especially in terms of understanding. I thought it was still point of law.
you were not sure what you are objecting on. Is it points of law or what you say?
As in, you have quoted my statement in my presence.
Yes.
You clearly misunderstood it, and you want to go to the next person without clarifying the court.
Sorry, Your Honor, I have not interpreted what Mr. Echesa said. I have quoted it as I captured it. So the court can confirm that he said that the first accused is the governor of a county, is a deputy party leader, and is not a lonely man. I am quoting you verbatim. I may be wrong in my interpretation, but in hearing you, I can't be wrong.
Points of fact. Points of law.
Your Honor, I'm coming to the point of law. I'm still quoting him. You cannot be the point of law. I am coming to the point of law. Yes, Your Honor, I'm still quoting so that I come to the point of law. Dr. Haminwa, on the other hand, says that the people in the first accused area were mad yesterday as a result of his arrest. Those are two admissions as to and thirdly, I am reminded that my very good friend, senior Dr. Haron Ndubi, mentioned that monkey see, monkey do, that the people have seen and are doing. The point of law we are making is that there is a likelihood of interference with witnesses. And that the influence of the first accused is admitted by his counsel on his behalf. And that it is not far-fetched that he would interfere with witnesses and investigations. Your Honor, clause 4.9 sub-clause E of the Judiciary Bail and Bond Policy Guidelines talks about likelihood. Yes, Your Honor. I am done. That is my last point. 4.9 sub-clause E of the Judiciary Bail and Bond Policy Guidelines talks about likelihood. It doesn't say certainty as proposed by Mr. Lego. If there is a likelihood because of that influence, there is a compelling reason you must deny bail. And standard of proof is on a balance of probabilities. I thank you for being patient with me. I am such a mouth, and we urge you that we have established compelling reasons to deny the first accused bail. Thank you, Mr. Your Honor.
Honorable Jeremiah Kioni, Assessor of Council, who wished to place him on record.
Now, almost one. Taking each So I will need a break to do a ruling on the matter. I possibly need almost one. We'll take a lunch break. Take a lunch break. Though the issues are running into millions, I will try the best to do it in 1 hour. And Dr. Haminwa encouraged me to deliver decision, give reasons later. Unfortunately, we have not been facilitated that way by our procedures. For the Court of Appeal, for the Supreme Court, they are facilitated properly by dint of their own procedures. Or for the subordinate courts, that actually can give ground to suspect of my abilities and competence, which I do not wish. So we take a break. We resume at exactly 2 for the ruling. Much
Continue to read. Let me read the comments there. Okay, so kuna Coach Brian says the culprit is well known. He's from 254. These same people even crossed over to vote in Uganda. Put some respect on their names. So those people, yeah, those people are represented as here. Napo pale kuna therapist in therapy anasema Kenya is just okay. And then kuna Coach Brian again says all this started only after he moved to secure Nzoia Sugar Company. It's clear that Papa Waroma is the hand behind this wave of intimidation and victimization. So we all know Papa Waroma nani. Sindio? Do we know? Yes? Yes. Felix says yes. Aya, kuna Acklink EA says country build better courts. True. Kwanza kuna mtu mmoja ameshinda kikoa and I'm sorry that they have a cold. But I go to like Simon Karanja.
Well, you're generating though.
But I used to hear
but
that
you don't
more.
need to.
Yeah. So Simon Karanja says, free Natembeya, please, and stop intimidation of opposition leaders kindly. And to whom it may concern, Madam Koome, Chief Justice and IG of Police, Tafadhalini, free that man. Free that man. You don't have to intimidate people. And as you've heard pale you Mr. Koech amesema ya kwamba hii shughuli ya hii story after he started the sugar something. Sinyo? Then kuna Victor Kaleka says most of the politicians unda farms with close friends and start giving contracts to them. He kind of game ilianza kitambo sisa. He lawyers since they are paid, who are defend Adi culprit. So what do you want to say? You want to say that he's a culprit? Victor, is he a culprit? Vomangalia them.
Yeah, ati unasema nini Zulfa?
No, nimejifiga. Vomangalia that man. Did you see a culprit? Although
the way he looks,
the way he is.
No, let me tell you the truth. You will never try to judge the person according to the way you can see the person until you truly confirms that the person is guilty. You cannot just judge somebody because from the person's outlook. The person's outlook might look so innocent, but unakuja like he's so guilty.
Lakini kama tunaambiwa ya kwamba hii shughuli yote ilianza wakati Natembeya alianza kupigania hiyo sugar company, unasikia Papa Waroma ndo
Papa Waroma amefanya nini?
Till you say what you
wait, Papa Waroma amefanya nini?
Akona and basically according to Mr. Koech. Sawa. So basically this is intimidation, as Simon is saying. This is trying to intimidate anyone who stands up and says no. Mr. President wants yes people. Anataka tu Kindikis everywhere. Kindiki tu Kindiki. Kila mtu tu Kindiki. Like just saying yes. Yes, daddy. Yes. That is what he wants to hear. Nothing else. Wala. Kindiki. Kindiki. He wants you to be like yes. Akisema unajua huko Trans Nzoia nimekataa hiyo kampuni ama hiyo kampuni itakuwa inafanya nini ukisema yes, no yes useme tu yes.
What does that now maybe doing with the case of Natembeya right now?
Basically I think according to me Zulfa, this is trying to intimidate Natembeya. Amuonesha unaona mali nimekufikisha bro in 24 hours. Ebuka taa tena uone mali nakufikisha. Like this is abuse of power.
Anajaribu kumzima.
Yeah.
But hauna evidence kani president ako behind that? Did you believe that the president Ruto ako behind this issue?
This is his person.
We don't need to make conclusion without confirmation.
Let me tell you.
What if maybe upata ni account yake ni appeal?
Aje sasa.
Fellow wala account yake ilikuwa inalia.
Aninauliza tustaki mtu anisalimie online leo. Unajua by that naogopanga wa Kenya sana.
Hata Tony alipokuwa hapa asubuhi, alikuwa anasema free na ni free. Those are people from Trans Nzoia. They are like free our person. Why? Sister says imagine basically they are orphans right now. Awana baba kojela. Now, corruption on what? You know, as someone sent the papers, I'm gonna go over them on the KNA funds nini. Walituma hiyo whatever. Let me see.
Kiwalai mkinipea support.
Walai.
Corruption itaisha, I tell you.
So this is George. Everything basically. Natembeya charge sheets indicates the alleged amount has been reduced from 1.4 billion to 1.1 million. So basically, the first time that he was touched, the first time aliposhikwa ilisema ya kwamba alikuwa corruption yake ni 1.1 billion. Sasa imereduciwa. Sawa? So please get into the group of KNA funds. Get in hapo inside and see. Yes. It is there. Sawa? So there's that now. Again. Okay? You want me to read it for you?
Read it.
So basically, kuna a lot of things, but basically George Natembeya, so conflict of interest contrary to section whatever as read with section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crime Act 2003. Particularities ni George Natembeya between 1st January 2023 and 30th April.
Why are they deducting the amount?
Exactly. Because this is just, maybe ilifika ikabaki cheki wata extend pesa zikuwa nyingi. We reduced to 1.1 million. From billions to 1.1 million.
From billions?
This is
from billion.
Hii ndio ilikuwa, this is what they have said.
What are you talking about?
Ilikuwa hivi, indicate billion. Hii ndio kitu alikuwa charged with. Na imereduciwa to 1.1 million. So this is just, ni kitu imeshikanishwa sahi ndio wewe mfikishe hapo. So what is that?
Lakini si audit general wa account pia anaweza
by the way kwa wapi mjama? Where is this person?
What is the
work of this person?
Auditing officers in the county. Wewe unafaa kuja wasema aje pesa za account zenye ziliingia zilikuwa hivi. Zenye zilitumika ziliallocatiwa kwa barabara ni hii pesa. Zenye zilienda hivi ni hii pesa. Alafu ndio wafanye auditing kabisa wa confirm like pesa zenye zilipotea ni 40,000. Zenye zilipotea ni 40 million. Zenye zilipotea ni hivi na hivi. Unaona? Hizo information zote wanafaa wakuje nazo. If possible waziweke public watu tuone. Unajua kuna kitu niliwaambia asubuhi, you guys I never knew, maybe if you took me serious. I said in Kenya we don't have leaders. All of us in the country we are leaders because we were born here. So nobody was born a leader, nobody was not born a leader. Sisi wote ni tuliamua kukuwa na president, tukaamua kukuwa na vice president and deputy president and all those representatives up there to help us run other political services because we are busy. So we really need to understand what is going on. What can they do maybe to give us the information? They really need to go and do a very genuine and peaceful auditing that will bring up all the information that we want. Information then they could at some point post it or give us through news stations so that we can understand what is happening. Yes? And we
take it with instructions.
Yes. So this is what I want to make every Kenyan to understand. Don't allow yourself to be left behind. You are a leader in this country. You are the voice in this country. Please let everything that we really need to engage in to be transparent enough by putting everything on the table for every Kenyan to understand that this is what is really going on. Wakenya si eti tumesota. Kama uko na 5,000 kwa account yako, wewe ni tajiri. Sawa? Kwa sababu hiyo 5,000 inaweza kubadilisha life yako. So we really need to be very careful so that a ghost person asikuje kufanyia 5,000 yako ikuwe negative 5,000 na umesota. Unanielewa? So we really need to be very careful so that when everything is happening, everything inawekwa on the table. Kitu kama hii wangekuwa wametuletea an auditor general wa county atupatie all the budget ya pesa zenye zimekuwa zikiallocatiwa. Atuambie hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi zenye ziko missing na hivi na ziko kwa line ya governor ajibu hizo pesa ziko wapi. But they are not supposed maybe to just maybe approximate na hivyo kama ndio washafanya
na approximate nini wala hapa naona Victor Kaleka anasema no kuna first kuna Stanley says, fellow Kenyans, while we focus on Natembeya's case, let's stay alert. The government might be distracting us from, as you've said, from a more dangerous agenda behind the scenes. So, stay watchful. And then Victor, walai.
Wanaweza kuwa wanakuja kutufanyia kumbe kuna mipango wanapanga kule wakuja wakatufanyia.
The way they did with the AUC, tukasahau sorry Amili imetupwa pale. They did with kushikana tukasahau mambo ya SHA. Please, priorities.
Kutu silent. That's how the way they silent us. Wacha tuwazubaishe na Natembeya huku na Salasia huku na kina nani huku na kina Gashagwa ndio sisi tufanye shughuli zetu.
Yes.
President leo amekuwa mahali pia na yake ifungua sijui nyumba huko Mkuru wa Jenga.
Nyumba affordable. Ngoja. Tuende pole. Are they houses like how?
Sini
apartment zishajengwa zikaisha? Zimeisha?
Yeah, alikuwa anafungua na peana kifungu sasa.
Na zinakaa aje?
That's smart. They're not bad.
How much? Is it like 5,000 per 2 bedroom? Yeah, because if it is for government, it should be affordable.
That's hizo ni nyumba 1,000. At least there's some people who will go there and join and make their lives at least.
Ati wapi Mkuru wa Jenga?
Mkuru wa Jenga.
I'm calling people from there. So corruption is different from politics. If you are involved in corrupt deals, stop saying it's political. Swindled. Face full arm of the law. Let me ask you something, Mr. Victor Kaleka. Like, what has been proven that this person has done?
Ati?
Nini imeproviwa amefanya?
Nini imeproviwa amefanya? Hiyo sasa. That is what I also want to understand.
Nini?
Kwa sababu
amwezi kuwa mnatufanyia ujinga.
Unaona mkipata ameiba hata 50,000.
Ashikwe. Uniform pale Langata Boys. Slippers chapali apewe lakini
si msijaribu kufanya chochote tafadhali kama mnajua ni kitu ya kumplantia. It will never be okay.
It cannot go from 1 billion to 1 million. It cannot. Na mseme ni clerical error. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo.
Ati tulikuwa tumesahau, sio hivyo. Hiyo ni game tunakuwa played off. That's a game. And you guys,
waititwa kwa jela hadi sasa.
Ukiona ile video tumeona atakitolewa jela. That thing disappointed me.
Alirudisha pesa?
Gani? Huu mchezo ni mchezo wa shere. Pesa gani wewe?
Hakurudisha pesa?
No.
Out of 500 million.
500.
Unatoa 50.
Hiyo 50 tuko sure alitoa.
Hata we are not sure.
Kwa ni 500. Hiyo ni pesa account ngapi alichukua?
Unasikia mtoto mmoja hoga na kama 100 million. Mtoto hajafikisha 18 years akona 100 million kwa account. My dad.
Nauliza aje? Huyu msee hizo ni pesa za account ngapi alikuwa amechukua?
Alikuwa kwanza nini? Si sema nini? Governor wa Ititu. Unajua kwa county unapigwa pesa nyingi. So how many years were those? County nisikia nani akisema center wapewa pesa ngapi? Sifuna
450
million
450
hizi pesa ziko kwa wapi by the way wase? Siko ubaya.
Sasa walipunguza wakabadilisha ikakuwa 45. Sasa Sifuna ndio huwa anateta ifai kwa hivyo.
Imekuwa
450 not 405. Why you change?
Wali change clerical error. That is what Uhuru did. Akasema ni clerical error na hiyo ndo bill. Yeah, back when he was the finance minister. So that is what he did. Akaandika pesa sijui ya nini, sijui ni pesa nini aliandika kwa nyingi sana.
My people, I believe everything that we are experiencing right now, it is not because maybe we don't have maybe experienced individuals who can run that. Ni kwa sababu mtu anataka a own apartment in the New York. Dubai. Ndio maana unaona hizi vitu zina happen hapa, stories za corruption hamwezi ona. I'm telling you the truth. Ndio maana ninawaambia aje mtu mwenye anapatikana na real evidence kuhusiana na corruption anafaa afukuzwe hata kutoka Kenya.
Wallahi. Anakaa hivi Chiwawa anamwambia nataka apartment sijui Malaysia. Wallahi, kwani nadhani what is it is some really beautiful girl somewhere wants a good car. So they need to do what they are doing now. People, at time. So say what you say. Alafu umesema leo unakuwa na meeting ama ni kesho unakuwa na meeting na wale watu?
Kesho.
Okay.
It would be so nice.
Ni kesho.
Oh, wadau na wadau days, watu wetu wa KNA. Thank you very much for being with us. Tumekuwa hapa pamoja, we have seen what Natembeya is going through. Wewe feel venye una feel, mimi na feel venye na feel, sawa? Ukikuja nayo mimi na kama na yangu. Tunaambatanisha hizi vitu zote pamoja, tunaona are they making sense actually? And venye tunaambiwa na Stanley pale, wacha tukae rada, because some things can be distractions of the that the government is making right now to confuse us and forget what is happening in the government and focus on other things that we don't supposed to focus on. But my name is Tilda. See you when you see us here again at 4 o'clock. Tutakuwa pamoja tena, majaliwa yake Mwenyezi Mungu.
Zulfa ni wewe? Introduce yourself.
Oh my God. Let me just let him have this, yeah? Nesa tu ni mwache. Unajua sometimes unaangalia tu mtoto mwachia tu bibi. Si ndio? Mpe tu jembe. I'm going to read the names of these people and try to appreciate them. Coach Brian,
yes.
You know you're a person. You know that. You don't even have to ask twice. Stanley Odhiambo, you're becoming that person too. Akuna Victor Kaleka, karibu sana. I like the way you're spirited, and I love the way you're standing for what you believe in. Kuna therapist in therapy, tunakukaribisha pia. Kuna Akilink EA, I'm gonna say welcome so much to Kenya News Alert. Simon Karanja, I hope that it does reach those people. I hope that it does reach. And then who else? Yeah. And the silent viewers out there, we do thank you so much for joining us here in Kenya News Alert. Karibuni sana. Tunawapenda, tunawaenzi. And after this, we're going to meet again. Saa 10 to saa 12 for the Kenya News Alert evening updates. Pia kuna group ambayo ni ya Kenya News Alert team and fans. This is where now tunaweza hata saa 9 usiku ukiamka ufikirie yenyewe Gachagua kitu amesema leo, you just go there and you're like yenyewe Gachagua today, sawa? So if you want that, you text the number on your screen and then they will add you on that group. Okay?
Yes.
So ama link inaweza kwa mahali popote.
We shall do everything.
Yeah, so basically Felix Gatson, the producer,
yes.
You just text, you'll get added to that group. You can say, but I see hate speech. Pale, it should be just clean, clean politics, if there was ever clean politics. And I am your name. I am your name. I am giving it to Felix for now. Sawa, acha nimwache tu afanye hivi, but my name is Zulfa. Someone baptized me Wanjiru. All the time they call me Wanjiru. So let me say just Zulfa Wanjiru for now. So
thank you so much, my sisters, and I really appreciate it. I love you for free. You know, at some point it is better for somebody like me to tell you the truth. You understand? So feel loved, and we as Kenya News Alert TV team from outside there, we love you, those people. When you mko hapo hivyo kwa studio. Thank you so much, guys. This is Plain San Felix, and this is the host of Asema Nasi Show. I really appreciate you guys for joining us, and at some point it is our pleasure to see you spending your time at least to listen to us. Huwa tunakuanga hapa kila siku kuanzia saa 2 hadi saa 4 for morning tea show, saa 6 hadi saa 8 Sema Nasi Show, saa 10 hadi saa 12 updates show. Lakini Felix atakuletea mambo mengine mengi kwa Sema Nasi Show ambayo maybe nitawajulisha kuanzia kesho. By now I wanna tell you, you maybe have a goal moment. Kwa wale wenye bado lunch yao haijafika, inaanza saa 8, you wanna have a nice lunch. Na wale wenye mnarudi kazini, may you be safe, na tukutane the next show, which is updates. This is Plain San Felix. I welcome you back once more. May you have a nice time. Goodbye.
Okay.